Ausführung.
Well, hello, Glue Troopers, and welcome to this episode of Max's Models. And today we're going to talk about the Tamiya 1/35th scale Panther A, Ausführung, or Ausf A, that means version A, which, believe it or not, was not the first model of the Panther into service. I did a little digging, and the German system's really confusing, but the Ausf D was actually the first one into serial production, then the Ausf A, then the Ausf G, and anyway, I always wondered what that meant. You always see that on, because the German words are very complicated, but they pretty much explain exactly what something is. And so now I know Ausführung is the version. So after finishing up the Stug, and I did actually finish it, I put those little parts on there that I had left off there. They went into the rear of the track skirts, and I made a couple of antennas for it because I noticed they tell you to melt plastic to make antennas, but I actually use metal wire. And so she's done and up on the shelf, and I had made the quip during the live stream that, I just need a Panther to round out the collection. And I was even looking at the Panther when I said that, and I was like, why not? So I dragged it out today, and I was just, because we have a lot going on here, so I was just going to do a quick parts fit, an inventory, take a few pictures, and knock out a 5-minute video, and things just sort of took on a life of their own. Of course, this has the interleaved road wheels, which are quite a bit of a little chore. You have to be very careful. I was fitting them to make sure everything fit, and it just fits so well that just, like the song is, little spoonful of sugar makes, just, little touch of glue and the parts will adhere. And it just went together so easily. Now, I say that easy's relative. You have to be very careful with these interleaved road wheels. They're all different. You have several of the same kind on each side, but you have to make sure you get the correct ones in the inner, center, and outer, or you're going to have a problem on your hands. So I want to get all that straightened out, but it just all went together so easily. And I was like, well, that took on a life of its own. One thing I will warn you, there are 3 different kinds of road wheels that go in the interleave system. 2 of them look pretty similar. So make sure that you just get because they're not interchangeable at all. So make sure you get the right ones in the right place. But that being said, everything fits so nice, just like you'd expect from Tamiya. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the 1/35th scale Tamiya Panther is kind of the reason most armor's in 1/35th scale. It was Tamiya's first kit back in 1961. And they motorized it, so they had to have room for the motors and the batteries, and it just came out to be 1/35th scale. And they just made everything based on that, and it just kind of accidentally became the dominant scale. So you could see that it still has the cutouts on the bottom for installing motors and batteries and switches and everything. So for that matter, the Stug had that also. So that's just an interesting bit of trivia. But if you are going to try and hyperscale this, you are going to have to patch that up on the bottom, and which I'm not worried about, of course. I'm not 100% sure which version this is. It's a white box, either 1988 or 1990. I don't know how much of the original mold from 1961 was still in use then, but my guess is they probably just modified the original mold. They may have cut another one. There are a lot of versions of the Panther, and it's an extremely popular tank and a popular seller. Just about everybody that makes armor makes a Panther. Virtually everyone makes a Tiger 1 and a Sherman, and then of course the Panther's, probably in close third place behind that. The wheels went on without any argument. I hung the parts up on the exact same pegs I hung the Stug parts up on. There's actually only 3 runner trees in this kit, and it's because it has the rubber band tracks and not the individual links. It should go together just like the Stug did. That Tiger tank that I made, the Tamiya Tiger, had the individual links on the track. That was a very, I hate to use the word tedious, but that's what it was, process. Whereas these vinyl tracks are much easier, even if maybe they don't look quite as good. But then again, the wheels roll, so not that I plan to be rolling it, but the Stug should, like the Stug, the wheel should be able to, the track should be able to move. But once I got everything in place, I just went right into working on the gun and the turret. Again, not a big fan of two-piece guns, and that was the only part that gave me a hint of trouble. Tiny little bits of flash here and there. Nothing that didn't take 10 seconds to sand off. I imagine the mold's probably seen a lot of use. Still, everything pretty much fit like a glove. I got the opening hatch in the back working without any problem. Well, there were a little problem, yeah, but not a big deal. And I went about as far as I could. Like I said, we got a lot going on here. Most of the work you see done here was done within an hour and a half, 2 hours. I really wasn't paying attention at the time, but it went surprisingly quickly. And I'm going to have to leave it here to harden. And but so far, nothing negative. I had planned to pre-paint everything because they interleave road wheels. But then it kind of dawned on me, nobody camouflages the inner wheels. It's only the outer ones. The wheels rotate so I can get to them with the airbrush to paint everything, or rattle can it, however I want to do it. So put a base coat on, and then I'll camouflage. I might paint this in green, then use the Play-Doh to make the areas I want to be green, cover them up, and then hit it with the airbrush or the rattle can in the beige or brown, and or I may do it the other way. I may beige it and then use the airbrush to paint the green camouflage. But I'll paint it something like what's on the box. Unlike the Stug, there are no painting instructions on the instruction sheet. The Stug had some basic decal and painting layouts. That's not here. But there are so many different patterns of the Panther that you can use. You use your imagination if you want. But that's where the imagination of the whole thing kind of kicks in. What do you want it to be? And pink if you want to. It'd be the Pink Panther. So the only other thing before I go is that you remember the live stream was talking about Florida, the wildlife. We have snakes and alligators and everything. It's like the universe was listening, because this morning around lunchtime, my wife saw a predatory bird, a hawk or a falcon, grab a snake in the grass right by our bedroom window and fly off with it. And at least it didn't drop it like that poor lady in Texas. For those who don't know, a few years ago in Texas, this lady's mowing her lawn and a snake drops on her from the sky. And it had been picked up by, I think, an eagle, which had lost its grip. And the eagle went back after the snake. So it basically attacked her and the snake with the snake wrapped up around her. I was like, man, you just can't make that up. But anyway, so it's just funny. I was complaining about the snakes last night, so the universe sent me some air support. Well, guys, that's what I've got. I'm going to be not be able to do anything tomorrow, and then I go to work after that. So this will maybe a little morning content out. Won't promise anything, but this will probably be the last content until not long before the next live stream. And by the way, the live stream got taken down by YouTube because of the music that I used in the intro and outro, which is ironic because I was just looping the Hollywood movie scene build, and that didn't get taken down. I don't know, maybe because we played it too many times, because I ran off. We watched Godzilla -1. I forgot to shut the computer down, so it ran for an extra 3 hours. And by the way, I want to apologize to Glue Troopers whose stuff I had misplaced. Fortunately, they told me, and I was able to find it. So there was the 2 builds that I added, the 12 o'clock high build and the Sahara build. And so since I left you out, I gave each of you your own special video. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Magnificent work once again. So guys, hope your builds are going well. Hope you're doing okay. Take care of yourselves. And as always, model on. you.